Really be doing parkour like shopping centres when you're 26 years old.
I'm not good at it, but I pretend to be Spiderman sometimes, you know.
Oh, we've all done that at one point in our life. Hello everybody, my name is Dan Roberts and this is Real Talk, and today's guest is Sophie North. Sophie doesn't work in the fundraising industry anymore, but she did back in the day, and she's here to tell you about the things that she learned and what she's done with her life. She's doing really well for herself right now. Sophie, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. So what's been going on? You've been, like, how long ago was it you were fundraising?
Oh gosh, so I stopped fundraising in the end of 2021, beginning of 22. That's the last time I kind of actually did face-to-face fundraising.
And you did it for like 3 years, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 years on and off.
What are you doing with yourself now?
Oh, a lot.
A lot, yeah?
Yeah. So I own a modelling agency, an international modelling agency.
Okay.
I also own an events company. I'm still writing my poetry that I've always done, and I also model full-time as well.
Right, so you're doing okay then?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Busy. Busy. Hard work, but worth it.
So what would you say when you was in the fundraising industry? Obviously, there's a lot that you get taught, and there's a lot of skills you pick up when you're on the way.
Definitely.
Is there anything that you learned or that you did that you've been able to transfer into what you're doing right now?
So much, honestly.
Okay.
I always talk about my fundraising because it was a really big part for building my character, my confidence. So as you know, when I first started, I didn't really believe in myself very much, did I?
It was quite shy.
Yeah, I was quite shy, you know, I wasn't really sure about myself. But kind of one of the biggest things that I learned is how to build rapport with people. You know, and that's really important for like business meetings and things like that. You know, I learned how to talk to different people of all walks of life. So I'm always using that. That's kind of really my biggest thing. And also ultimately just believing in myself, because self-doubt was something that was just so big for me. But now I'm a firm believer that if you believe in yourself, you're already 50% of the way there.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember some of the times that you were fundraising, because I was with you at the time. I was managing you.
Yeah.
And I remember you shaved your head.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
So that is probably one of my biggest achievements of my life, surprisingly. So at the time, my father was really unwell because he has Crohn's and colitis. Mm-hmm. And I thought, what can I do to help him? And I was really inspired by working for Real. And, you know, of all the charities I was working for and seeing other people do their charitable kind of causes, like outside of, the job itself. So I thought I was going to do something extreme. So I thought I'd shave my hair off. And I love my hair. I've always loved my hair. I've always dyed it silly colours and everything. And I raised money for Crohn's and Colitis UK with the backing as well and the support of Real. You know, they dipped into their charity fund for me that they have allocated for extra stuff, and it was an amazing experience, and it was really emotional. My dad shaved it off for me, or helped to, and yeah.
I remember you crying one day before we went to work because you said you looked like a boy and you was really sad.
Yeah, do you know what? I've actually never been so insecure.
When you did that.
Yeah, it's so strange. And I remember like when I was like working in fundraising, I was looking around like, oh, people must think I look really weird. But it was all in my head, and I think, again, it was a really big confidence builder for me because I had to believe in myself more. And, even if I wasn't feeling, like my tip-top self on the exterior, I could still, be me, be great.
I do remember that you was a bit timid and stuff. Like you used to go into yourself while you was at work.
Massively.
And you used to like try and bring your personality back by pretending to do parkour inside shopping centres. That's a while ago. That was about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, I still do parkour.
You still do parkour? How old are you now?
26.
26. Shouldn't really be doing parkour like shopping centres when you're 26 years old.
I'm not good at it, but I pretend to be Spiderman sometimes.
Oh, we've all done that at one point in our life.
I'm not afraid to admit that.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I had a Spiderman pyjamas, and
Really?
I used to put myself in the sleeping bag and like kind of throw myself down the stairs. And I remember my dad saying to me, I've never seen a Spider-Man cartoon where Spider-Man throws himself down the stairs in a sleeping bag. But yeah, that was a while ago. But the thing is, Yeah, with yourself, I remember like you bleached your hair one day after you'd shaved your head, and you came to
Yes.
work, and walked up to me like you'd done, and I looked, and it was a big shock for me because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
But I've seen your character develop myself from when you first started to building your confidence to even one day you just froze and didn't know how to stop people, and it's just
Yeah.
about enjoying yourself into the job as well.
100%.
I mean, you've got a lot of responsibility now. You've got how many
Yeah.
businesses?
So 3 in total. I dissolved one of them because it
Right.
just wasn't right for me. And that's the thing as well. I kind of know when to cut my losses now. You know, if something's not working, it's because the next door's going to open, you know.
Yeah. How do you cope with your stress? I mean, there's going to be a lot with running a business anyway, never mind
100%. Yeah, it can be really stressful at times. And, you know, I'm not, you know, like I wouldn't be like the last person to admit, you know, that I've struggled with mental health in my life as well, you know, and stress massively plays a part in that. So there's multiple things I do. So one of the things is I will always make sure I allocate time to myself in my life.
Yeah.
So in my daily schedule, I'll also schedule in me time. You know, it's no social media, it's no phones. You know, like at best, I'll put some music on.
Yeah.
I'll write some poetry. I ground myself. It's really important for me to do that. And, you know, it keeps you humble. It keeps you present. So that's kind of my main thing, really, just music and me time.
Oh, sorry. What
Music and me
music and
time.
me time? What's your music of choice?
I listen to everything.
Okay.
And I know people say that, but I can go from hard techno to drum and bass to classical music. I love classical music. To country.
Yeah.
It really varies on my mood. You know, it depends on what emotion I need to get out at the time. But otherwise, it's classical.
Classical, fair.
Yeah, for me time.
They say villains listen to classical music and heroes listen to rock music. And if you actually watch
Yeah.
films, that's exactly what it is. It's always the rock music when it's the hero.
Yeah.
And it's classical music when the villain's planning.
Yeah.
But, like, so what's the plans for the future then? You've got a lot on your plate already.
Yeah.
I'm hoping one of the things is you're going to come back on the podcast at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But like, what's your plans for the future then, as regards your businesses, yourself, whereabouts, where you're living now, where you plan on living, stuff like that?
So I'm currently living in London, which is a dream for mine because when I was working with Real Fundraising, I was obviously like traveling, I was roaming with it, and I got to experience all these places across the country, and I fell in love with London. So again, I pulled that from Real and fundraising, which is amazing.
I will say this though, from when I first met you, your accent is very different.
A lot of people say this. I've dropped
You've gone
the
from
Somerset.
all right, my lover, to like sounding like a girl from London in the space of like 4 years, something like that.
I've heard this. People have said this. My accent's changed because I'm not around, you know, the really thick Somerset accent anymore.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
So yeah, carry on with what the plans are for the future.
But yeah, so I've got loads of things. So for New Year's, I actually made a New Year's resolution to myself that I wanted to travel to at least 4 countries this year with my work and with my modelling, my agency. I've surpassed that already, and I've got some really big plans for this year alone. So next month I'm walking Miami Swim Week, which is like a really big success for me. I've been asked to do other fashion weeks. I want to grow my business, to take, you know, more models to more international trips, you know, and just really expand it and just experience the world with it. That's kind of my aim, really. And luckily, like touch wood, you know, I'm achieving that right now, which is amazing, you know, and I'm really grateful for that experience.
I'm really proud of you. Like, you are a completely different person to what you were like
Thank
5,
you.
6 years ago. But what was I going to say now? Oh yeah, so you've got your plans for the future already put in set now.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you wanted to visit lots of different countries and stuff.
Yeah.
So have you seen any of the 7 wonders of the world yet? Because there's a reason I'm asking.
So my parents actually live really close to one.
Do they?
Yes, Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They live fairly close to it. That is the 7 wonders of the world, isn't it? And I really want to go to the pyramids in Egypt.
The pyramids in Egypt.
That's bucket list goal.
I think I'm going there in about a month or so.
No
to be
way.
honest. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
really
so
looking forward to it.
jealous.
Well, I was looking online because I watched, you know, that Carl Pilkington 7 Wonders. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I do know about it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love him. He's so funny.
I watched it and I thought I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
So I looked into it, and there's an actual website where you can just pay a fixed fee and go and see all of them within the space of a
Really?
couple of months. Yeah. It's quite expensive, but you
Yeah.
get to see everything, and it's all your accommodation, your travel call, and stuff like that. $9,000.
But It's worth it though.
It's a lifetime thing. If I
yeah.
did it, I'd take a GoPro and film everything. And,
100%.
yeah, because I did this similar. I went to New Zealand and I did like the whole thing in New Zealand that you're supposed to do when you like jump out of airplanes and skydive and bungee jump. And yeah, that was great. And I filmed all that lot. In fact, there's a scene in it when I jump out an aeroplane and I like turn upside down. I can see the bottom of the aeroplane. And I've never been in a situation before where there's no ground. So that was quite scary for me. But like, I enjoyed it though. And you feel so alive after you've done something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an exhilarating feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sophie, thanks for coming on, sweetheart. It's been an absolute pleasure. And it's been good to catch up as well, because it's been a long time since we've last seen each other. About 5 years.
Long. Yeah, it
it's
must
gone quick,
be.
though, isn't it? During the plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lockdown. But you know what? You can have one of these. Just move the microphone out of the way. It's perfectly safe.
Okay, I'm going to move it.
There you go. You can have one of them. Thank you so much for coming on.
See you.
No worries. Make sure you come in again. And once again, thank you everyone for watching. My name is Dan Roberts. This is Real Talk. So with respect, ethics, activism and love, take care and I'll catch you on the next one.